what did we say a few weeks ago? That we're going to get to a point where people are losing their stuff all over the place. And that's what we'll be. See, this season, sooner or later, somebody's going to have to wheel it away, section it off, and declare it, diagnose it as clinically insane. And then maybe we can have a period of recovery. But see, do you know what? You've just got to enjoy it. It's madness. It's utterly bonkers. But it's just sensational. And that's where are we now? Celtic within 3 points. Rangers a point behind Hearts. Hearts, the top team for 7 months until yesterday. Go to the team that's been relegation fodder for pretty much the same length of time and drop 2 points that you don't see coming in, especially when Hearts go 2-1 up, Dan. Because you're looking at that point, you think that if Hearts, the way they've been playing to get themselves 2-1 in front, you think, well, they could win this by 3, 4 or 5 goals here.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Lon Shankland comes back, makes his first start since January the 17th. Absolutely phenomenal performance from him. He was playing like a man possessed. And in normal circumstances, he scores one. I mean, it's a sensational header. Should probably have got himself,
well, from Mark Leonard. Great ball.
That's a great ball. Should probably have got himself another couple of goals if you're being hypercritical. But when he sets up Braga to make it 2-1, he just it looks at that point as if they're in total control of the game.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, funny things are happening. This is what happens when people are put under stress and anxiety levels are soaring. Hearts just sort of fell out the game after going 2-1 up. And if anything, it could have got worse. Livingston could have nicked it.
Aye.
So this is what I'm saying. This is all mental stuff. Then you've got Celtic, who go to Dens Park, should have that game comfortably won in the first half. They're playing with a striker who I'm not sure he knows how to score goals in Svankara.
I don't want to be kind, Keith, right? But he looked like a competition winner at times. Like his link-up play was better. He was showing for the ball and stuff. Some of the chances he missed in some of his first touches were absolutely wild. For
a striker, it's extremely worrying, actually. And I think what Celtic have... So then Celtic get themselves into a stress ball because Dundee were always going to come into the game at some point. They're much improved under Stephen Presley. They get the penalty kick. I'll just say right now, it is a penalty kick and we don't like it. But we've seen the same thing given time and time again this season. If a defender's arms up and if a shot's going in the general direction of the goal, I was actually pretty surprised Kenny McLean didn't see it at full speed.
Aye, me too. Aye.
Needed VAR intervention, but there you go. They got there in the end. Simon Murray scores, one each. And at that point, you're thinking, Dundee could win this because Celtic had fallen out of it so badly. But again, Martin O'Neill, you know, this is the guy who at the age of 74 is trying to hold everything together in the face of utter chaos this season. And he makes the right substitution. And I mean, he must be scratching his head because he starts with one week and they do nothing. Kelechi Iheanacho was pretty hopeless at Tannadice, I felt. But he comes on, and that's a poacher. That's a poacher's goal that he scores to win the game for Celtic. Good centre-forward play, physically able to hold off the defender, and then he just spins on a five-pence, doesn't he? And smashes the finish, and that ultimately makes all the difference to keep Celtic. Because I don't know, would you be saying that Celtic were out of it if they dropped 2 points today? You probably wouldn't, because Hearts had dropped 2 points today.
I see what you mean now, and they've obviously got Hearts and Rangers at home as well.
Yeah, so it probably wouldn't have been terminal for Celtic's title hopes, but you know what a difference between 1 point and 3. And I think the momentum that Celtic come down the road with after a result like that and getting it late on in the nature that they got it, you know, that should fire them up a little bit. And I felt for spells of the first half, it was as good as I've seen Celtic play for a few weeks. So quite a lot for Martin O'Neill to feel good about on the way back down the road. But you know, in terms of the stress and anxiety that the poor guy's having to go through,
yeah.
And it's the same for everybody. Everybody's now in the same boat. But, you know, at 74, this can't be good for Martin O'Neill's health.
Aye, I know. Well, look, you can see I've been putting them up on the screen. We're getting plenty of comments coming in. If you want to have your say, please get involved in the conversation in the comments section below. Rebel, as you can see, says, fully fit Kelechi. Celtic win that by a few today. Craig says, how many times can Celtic miss easy chances? Shocking lack of a decent striker options. Mark says, I've absolutely no idea how we're in a title race, but by God, are we in a title race? The Green Machine says Celtic have great advantage in the last 6 games. Four home games, but if Big Tam is playing, we lose that advantage. He calls him Sibo. Remember Sibo? James, I think as a Rangers fan, says, hate to say it, Celtic's title to lose with the games against Rangers and Hearts at home coming up. You're low him up, it's a Rangers man. He says, Hearts can't cope with the pressure that's between us and Celtic for the title now. And as I say, keep them coming in. We will catch up, Keith, with our esteemed colleague, Craig Swan, who was at Almondvale today for the Hearts, for the Livingston Hearts game. But he was also at Ibrox yesterday for Rangers 4-2 win over Dundee United. So we'll catch up with him. But just to round off in today's game, I completely agree with you. I thought Celtic in the first half come out flying. I couldn't remember when I'd seen them start as well. But when it's one goal, you always think to yourself, they're going to come into this Dundee, they're going to get chances. Yeah. And look, I know we've said it ad nauseum. You've just said it about Martin O'Neill again. But see if he wins the league with this lot of Celtic players, he deserves 2 statues, honestly, if he pulls this off.
It's astonishing. What he's attempting to do here, and when you consider, and this is where the problem starts for Celtic, as some of the comments are saying, Martin O'Neill's first time around, he's got John Hartson, he's got Henrik Larsson, he's got Chris Sutton. You know, and that's what you build a title-winning team around. He just doesn't have this. So he's having to try and, by hook or by crook, piece it together, throw subs on from the bench. You know, it's a real... He's having to work really hard to, you know... Could you imagine if it was back in the day and you've got Larsson, Sutton and Hartson?
Oh, my God.
Well, it's relatively stress-free, this management caper, when we can just say those players, they'll win you the games, they'll score the goal. And he's just said after the game, and it's really interesting, he was asked about, you know, what's going to be the key now over the final 6 games of the season. He says, well, the 3 sides are all going to create chances. It's about who takes them. And it's as simple as that. And that's Martin O'Neill doing what Martin O'Neill does. He's simplifying everything. There's no mystical magic mystery to anything here. It's create chances, but you better take them. And if you're going to take them, the side that takes the most chances will probably win this title. And again, I keep coming back to it, Daniel. Poor result for Hearts today, and they let it slip, and that'll be hurting. But ultimately, when it all comes down to it, they've got 2 strikers scoring goals, and those 2 strikers probably walk into Celtic starting 11 and Rangers starting 11 right now.